There's one political truth in Kenya that has not changed since 1963. That is, since independence. That if you want to be the president of Kenya, you must deal with the mountain. Not sometimes, not maybe, but always.
Yeah. We're talking about the Mount Kenya. It seems to always be the ingredients that everybody wants to add to this political soup.
You either win their support or you divide them.
Amejipata bahali Moi alijipata 1992. Hii kura ya mlima ilikuwa imemkataa yote vile imekataa William Ruto leo. Akapanga jama akajua ndio nipite. Lazima nigawanya hii mlima.
For a while, William Ruto has been smiling because the mountain has been divided.
Hata kesho nasikia kuna wheelbarrow ingine ya red inakuja.
If they really want a united opposition, why the onslaught on us? How would you justify them calling Uhuru red wheelbarrow?
But not anymore. Can you imagine Uhuru Kenyatta and Rigathi Gachagua on the same political podium? Imagine the political casualties that would emerge from such explosion.
It will seal William's fate completely.
Now, stop imagining, because it's actually happening.
We'll start with Gachagua. Wherever it will be, we will be there. And I can tell you, you'll see a very different ballgame. They may think that they are scattering us, but through it, we'll be able to even become together.
From what I hear, nobody in State House is actually catching sleep. Let me tell you about it. If you love this kind of content, go ahead and like this video and subscribe. Now let's get to the video.
Najua hii mlima iko na kula milioni 6. Na vile ninaona itaenda milioni 8. Na hii kula imeamua. Haijaamua itachagua nani, lakini imeamua na nani itafukuza.
By now, we can all agree on one thing. That Mount Kenya is the largest and the most decisive voting bloc in the country.
He said that Mount Kenya votes as a bloc.
Every president that Kenya has ever had depended on how the mountain voted. When Mount Kenya voted together, they decided the president.
Mimi nikuwe rais. Si nyinyi mlinipigia kura.
And when they were divided, they still decided a president.
Akapanga jama akajua ndio nipite. Lazima nigawanya hii mlima. Matiba akapata 1.4 million. Kibaki akapata 1 million. Jaramogi akapata 900,000. Ukijumulisha yote 3.3 million. Moi akapata 1.9, akawashinda wote.
That is the power of the mountain, and that is why the united opposition cannot win 2027 without the mountain.
So the success of the opposition is domiciled on the mountain.
But here's the problem with the bloc being too powerful. It has too many voices, too many leaders, too many egos, and too many centers of power. Right now, there are two voices that are threatening or shaping the unity of the Mount Kenya: Uhuru Kenyatta and Rigathi Gachagua.
I'm not saying they work together every morning, they wake up together, putting on the same ties the way you was with Ruto. But I'm just saying one move, one physical, observable, seeable, touchable, something you can smell and see and touch. That is Uhuru Kenyatta, that's Gachagua. Even in one function, speaking one language to a community. And the message to the community is, we have to come together.
You see,
because if we don't, sisi tutakuwa mboga ya watu fulani.
Political analysts agree on one thing, that if these two ever speak together, if these two ever work together, William Ruto's presidency will be finished.
The impact of the mountain people seeing Uhuru Kenyatta and Gachagua, it will seal William's fate completely.
A few days ago, the Daily Nation reported something important, that after members started leaving the DCP party, Rigathi Gachagua retreated to the coast with the remaining allies. It was not for vacation, it was not for Madafu, it was for strategy. To answer one simple question, how does Rigathi Gachagua remain relevant in the united opposition going into 2027? And one answer came up clearly, that Gachagua would now be open to working with Uhuru Kenyatta, even going to seek that union himself.
Nyinyi kama ODM, shida yenu sio Uhuru Kenyatta. Shida yenu ni William Ruto. Kwa hivyo mimi nataka Uhuru Kenyatta apewe heshima. Sisi hatusumbui Uhuru saa hii, tunasukuma kazi. Lakini tukiona kimeumana tunamhitaji huko mbele, nitamuagiza yeye atoke retirement akuja tusaidie. Wangapi wakisema kikiumana tumuite akuja tusaidie?
At first that sounded like speculation, until an interview happened.
Welcome to a conversation with Manyora.
Political analyst Herman Manyora sat down with Jeremiah Kioni, the former SG for Jubilee and now the deputy party leader.
Jeremiah Kioni. Karibu.
Asante sana, Professor.
Karibu.
What Kioni said made one thing very clear, that this is not imagination, that this is not a rumor, that this is already happening or has already been agreed upon in principle.
Yes.
The continued attack on Gachagua when he is in churches within the mountain is part of the plan of William Ruto. To intimidate, to harass, and actually he is doing beyond that. He is mobilizing the country against the mountain. And that's why I'm saying, on this one, it is a no-go. We will come together, all of us, irrespective of our political differences, we will have to have that stand.
And that is huge because Kioni does not freelance. If Kioni speaks, Uhuru has spoken.
DCP, skiza what? DCP, skiza ground. Skiza what? Skiza ground. Skiza what? Skiza ground.
You see, for a long time, Gachagua and Uhuru could not work together because of one major reason: political parties.
Would you be happy with a situation where Jubilee and DCP work together as we move towards 2027?
Gachagua's DCP wants to dominate the Mount Kenya region completely. They want to sweep all the seats. They want to control the region.
Na party leader nilisikia watu wakipiga kelele juzi ati unasema ati umesema tutachukua viti zetu. We want to confirm that hii viti yote tutachukua.
But there is one party and only one party that can threaten that plan, and that is the Jubilee party.
We in Jubilee will have an open and transparent process of nomination. Only the popular candidates will be given tickets. We will not take money from anybody. And Jubilee is stepping up to lead Kenya to the future that the country desires. We're ready for it.
Now, Jubilee is clearly preparing for 2027.
And we believe that on any day, it doesn't have to be a good day, Jubilee is a preferred party. Not just within the mountain, we sell ourselves across the country.
You see, Rigathi Gachagua is a dominant personality. He wants control, he wants leadership, he wants to be the main voice.
DCP ni chama yenu.
But he has realized something crucial, that Uhuru Kenyatta is better as an ally than as an enemy.
Wangapi wakisema kikiumana tumuite akuja tusaidie?
When Uhuru is your enemy in the Mount Kenya region, then you can do nothing, because he still commands a lot of loyalty. He once warned the mountain not to do something. They ignored him, and now everything that followed went wrong. Kioni also revealed something important, that for the first time, Gachagua has started acknowledging Fred Matiang'i as a possible opposition flag bearer. Previously, Gachagua would not even mention his name. Now, he does. That is not accidental. That is strategy.
And they have been changing in the past. You notice that a short while ago, 3 weeks, 4 weeks ago, yes, when people in the opposition united would start talking about presidential candidate, they would not mention Matiang'i, yes, including Gachagua. Today, he starts with Matiang'i. That, and he's a very shrewd politician. So yeye pia si alisema masikio yake iko kwa ground.
Yes.
Hiyo masikio lazima iwe imesikia kitu kwa ground.
You see, there is a saying that it is better to have a piece of a big melon than 100% of a grape. Gachagua seems to have understood this. He cannot take on William Ruto alone.
I want to give my commitment and that of DCP that we shall make whatever sacrifices necessary to have one presidential candidate to make William Ruto one term.
He is now willing to work with people who previously he was not naturally comfortable with, for the greater goal, making Ruto a one-term president. Yes, there is ego. Yes, there are strong personalities. That is normal. Strong people clash, but maturity is choosing the mission over the ego.
We are in the united opposition because we all agree to the one-term movement to remove the pain of Kasongo.
And we're already seeing the signs. Jeremiah Kioni defended Gachagua after Odhaya's church attack.
The attack on Gachagua, yes, in my opinion, was done by the state. It's actually what I call domestic terrorism.
That matters. That is unity in action. That is the spirit that the opposition needs.
The opposition needs to be organized.
Correct.
But I also think they need to be organized when it is right.
So, no one is saying that a candidate will be announced today. That would be premature. But what matters is this. Parties are now building.
Iko haraka gani? Si tujenge Jubilee, jenga DCP, jenga Wiper.
Bridges are forming and trust is growing.
Iko haraka gani? Jegeni.
And eventually, there will be a one candidate. And when that happens, William Ruto will not stand a chance.
This thing is a question of the opposition organizing themselves so that they have a good person who can manage the country. But Kenyans themselves have decided they have had enough of William. He can entertain them. He will continue saying, ama namna gani?
Let's be honest. Most of us want Ruto to be a one-term president. The only reason that people are hesitating to say it out loud is because we have not yet seen a clear alternative. But if the United Opposition organizes, if Mount Kenya speaks with one voice, if Uhuru Kenyatta and Gachagua truly align, then 2027 is decided.
Wote lazima wakuje pamoja ili tumalize hii kasi ambayo iko mbele yetu. Otherwise hakukuwa na maana ya kupigania chama.
So yes, there's a reason to smile because when Kioni speaks, Uhuru has spoken. And if Uhuru has spoken, then something serious is already in motion. Subscribe.